Welcome to the Team Solomon Circus deck profile. Today we'll be going over the newly hyped up Predaplants branded deck. This deck has been getting a lot of hype due to at the YCS, Pac and Jesse were both playing it. I think someone else was playing it as well. Me and a friend David have been testing it out for a little bit now with the new cards, but they kind of helped out like our ratios and stuff like that, and just different stuff like that. We were thinking more of a plant deck, but they added the hand traps, which I ended up really liking. So I took some practicing this yesterday, and I'm going to update the deck. Before we get into the deck profile, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, let's get in. So starting off with the Predaplant monsters, we do play two Chlamydia Sundew. He is like a fusion monster, so you don't end up needing your fusion spells. He also can use the Predaplant counters on your opponent's field, so that's really good to know, and they're treated as darks when you do that. Play the new Blipsy. This card you can send off branded fusion, or you can use it for a discard for a branded opening. It ends up just searching for a Predaplant monster. It also can special summon itself from the graveyard. That card does come up a lot, but just able to use it for a Chimera, so yeah. Then we take two Frogos. Bufolifixa, he's just a fusion summon in the scale. Then we play the Triantis. This is using it as material from the scale. And then everyone knows these guys. Or for Scorpio, he just adds your, special summons your Cobra, and Cobra searches your fusions. Not much to say about your Predaplant. I think this is going to be pretty standard. Now we're going to the Albaz. We played two Fallen of Albaz, just because you want to be able to use it more than once, and if you get banished, then you're kind of screwed over. We do play the one Aluber. You don't have to play this card. If you're not going to play the brand stuff, you don't really play it at all, but I like it, so I played it. Then we do play the one Fairy Tale Snow as your light target. Another card you could play instead of the Fairy Tale Snow, which David was testing, he was playing the Staler Roman. This card ends up sending your this from the extra deck when it gets sent as material, but I prefer the Snow myself because it's just another form of interruption. So yeah, just different options. Then I play the three Ash Blossom, just a generic hand trap. Hurts every deck. Sword Soul maybe less, but if you hit Branded Fusion, this feels so good. With punk cards, it's also good versus that. Then we do play the three Nibiru. This deck has a really good matchup versus Despia in itself. It does struggle a bit against Sword Soul, but you do have a lot of edge, so we do play the Nibiru just for that, and a lot of other combo decks are running around the punk deck, stuff like that. So we're definitely playing Nibiru for now, but it's easy also could be included in the side if you wanted to. All depends on your meta. Now for the spells, we do play the Branded Fusion. Less of the heart and soul of this deck, just another card, I guess. Really good card. But yeah. Then we do play the Branded Opening at 2. Just searches for your Luber, and it also serves as protection in the graveyard. This comes up a lot more in this version of the deck because a lot of your fusion monsters have really powerful effects, rather than Mirror Jade, has a target always on its back, but also some of your other cards, this card is a lot more targetable because you're going to end up usually with that on the field, and they want to get rid of that because you just stop so many effects. Now for the Predaplant cards, we play the Cracked Predapractice. It special summons any of your Predator monsters from your hand, then you can also add one. So it's really, really good. This and Patchwork, we're not playing Patchwork, but you could. It's just insane. Both really powerful spell cards. You should probably always Ash this if you're not Ashing Branded Fusion. Then we do play the Predaprant Fusion. David told me I should play this card. I don't love it, but we'll go trust with him. So really just, if Predaplant monsters on the field, you can fusion summon one dark fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from either field as material, including 2 or more dark monsters I control, and you can only use it once per turn. Also allows you to dodge stuff because it is a quick play spell, so I understand. Then we want to dig, so we do play the 3 Prosperity. This deck can banish a lot of its cards, so you don't really need to care because you play a lot of doubles. And you can search for a lot of power spells. We do play the Instant Fusion because it can summon out the this guy. I call him Trompy. But yeah, then we obviously play the one Call by the Grave just because you can stop your cards with that. Hitting that for Ash when you activate Branded Fusion feels so good. Then we do play the Predaplanting. This card's absolutely insane. It makes like pretty much these two cards right here just an FTK. This gives all the monsters tokens, and then this just negates all the cards. That's not an activated effect, it's just a continuous effect. So you just negate all your opponent's cards pretty much. And then if you fusion summon while this card's in your graveyard, you can just pop a card by banishing it. And then we do play the Branded Banishment. Branded Red's not very good in this deck, so we end up using Branded Banishment instead. You can just set it off your Albion, and then you can just fuse something with it. It's also a super poly, so it's really good. And then we do play the 3 hand traps, just imperm. This deck, you're allowed to play more hand traps, which is really good. You could play super poly, but you'd have to change the extra deck a bit. So we opted out to play like 9 hand traps, so we prefer that. Instead of the Fusion, I was playing Predaplants. It just, once per turn, you just special summon to Monster Reborn, and then you just pay 800 to destroy this card. And the Reborn's once per turn, so it just helps you like come up with a lot more stuff. Resource game. Now for our extra deck, we do play the 2 Mirror Jade, the 1 Lubellion, and the 2 Albion. Normally you end up going with your Albion first, and then you make your Mirror Jade. And you just need a second Mirror Jade just in case that like your Lubellion for the second turn. You could return this and then summon that, but you have to have a target in the first place. So you have to play, unfortunately, the second Lubellion. And then Albion's just for sending off of Mirror Jade. That's why you play 2. And then we play the 1 Titaniclad just for like OTKs, getting over a big monster. Then for the Predaplants, we play 2 Chompy. Card's just cracked. 3 Dragostapelia. There's something that you could cut down to 2 if you wanted, and you could also play 3 of this. I find this card just end up coming so good and always as a target, so having 3 of it just like secures it. Then we play the 1 Fusion, and then the 1 bigger Fusion. I don't love this card, but it comes up a lot, so when it does come up, it just really wins the game. So we play it, and we also play the Triff Predaplant. This guy's huge. If you pull him off, then you know you're really in a winning position. And then finally, we do play the Guardian Chimera. You could cut Dragostapelia down to 2 and play a 3rd Chimera, but it doesn't come up a lot. Like 1 Chimera seems really weird, but the problem is unlike your other deck, like unlike Branded Despia, you're not Branded Fusioning and like going into like these big combos, searching Branded and Red. So without Branded Red, you don't really need a Chimera because you're not summoning it. Like during that second turn or your opponent's turn if you go first. So that's why we only play 1 of it. This deck is going to gain a lot of popularity due to the fact that a lot of meta players have been playing it. And as we already see, Predaplants already like jumped up in price. The card used to be like $20 and now it's like $70. So definitely, you know, if you have these cards, you should play the deck. It's also a really explosive and fun deck to play. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the deck profile. If you want more content like this, remember to smash the thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe.